What's good, YouTube? It's your boy P Money. So, I got some Blazers news for you guys, man. Some big news out there in Blazers land. Jason Quick, Blazers writer, has stepped away citing mental health reasoning. And mental health is definitely something that everybody, especially right now with what's going on in this country, around the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, one thing is for certain, many people are suffering from mental health issues right now. Maybe they don't want to say it or don't feel like it, but it's definitely something that I feel like everyone in right now should be looking into it, you know, just to be on the safe side. So it's definitely something not to play with. So definitely rest up and heal up and get yourself right, man, you know, straight up. But we still can't forget what led up to these situations, you know what I'm saying? The blatant disrespect that was shown towards the franchise cornerstone it has to be talked about, man. You know, you were out there trying to signal boost all of the lies and the deceit, the confusion and the division of Dame Lillard. You know what I'm saying? You were one of the helpers of that, along with Neil O'Shea. When he got fired, he had his little sour grapes, and he was telling Adrian Wojnarowski, who's another person. You know what I'm saying? We also have another guy who's lower level, of course, but Sean Highkin. He's another guy that needs to be on that watch list now, you know what I'm saying? And what I like about what's happening around the Blazers is a lot of the bullshit and fuck shit is being cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the weaknesses that the Blazers have had in years past are now of the past, you know? So it's a very good feeling for me as a black Blazers fan out there that a lot of this anti-black rhetoric is getting cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it really boils down to. Neil O'Shea, a lot of anti-black racism, man. Jason Quick, let's call a spade, anti-black racism, man, towards Dame Lillard. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest about it. Sean Highkin, anti-black racism when Coach Billups was named the head coach of the Blazers last season. He was out there trying to toot your own horn about what happened when the FBI, of all people, are you trying to challenge the FBI and their findings about Coach Billups all these years later? You know what I'm saying? You're still upset about that, you know, when there's so much going on in the city of Oregon right now. I mean, I've said it in a previous video. You know what I'm saying? I think you guys have a lot more to be worried about than Coach Billups, man. Straight up. Especially with anti-black racism going on over there. There's a lot of anti-black hate crimes going on over there. Let's not forget. You know what I'm saying? We just got to call a spade, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to come into the workplace with your anti-black racism, and it's not welcomed anymore. And I'm so glad. You know what I'm saying? There's about to be possibly a new ownership coming in, you know? That's a beautiful thing for the Blazers, man. It means it's going to be able to open up opportunities for the Blazers to actually be a championship caliber team. You know what I'm saying? In the Dame Lillard era. And that's what I want to see, man. I want Dame to be able to get that chance, man, to actually have a viable opportunity to get and hoist that trophy, you know? And the rumors out there of a potential John Collins trade to the Blazers is a very good way, I feel, that the Blazers, with what's out there right now that's realistic for the Blazers, I feel like John Collins is one of the best that's possible for them right now in their current position. You know what I'm saying? A very highly efficient four. who has excellent versatility on both ends of the floor. His defense in space this past season really improved, and I feel like that's attributed to Coach McMillan, you know what I'm saying, who's a very defensive-minded coach, you know. But he's also, like, his team wasn't great, so, like, the numbers, of course, are not going to look great for him. You know what I mean? The team defense was terrible. But he's a guy who could play the 4 and the 5. He's 6'9", 226, according to NBA.com. But I also seen somewhere he's 235. I seen one that's 240, so who knows what he really weighs. But let's say that he's in the mold of an Al Horford type, but a more athletic Al Horford for this Blazers team, who I feel like that would be an excellent piece. You know what I'm saying? He's a very good rebounder, you know, very efficient with his numbers. But there's also a running narrative out there in Blazers land that John Collins is only a lob threat, and that's ridiculous. And I'd like to share some numbers to prove those points. You know what I'm saying? So in 2019-2020, that actually can be said, because 55% of his shots in that season were in the paint, while only 22% in the mid-range and 22% from 3. But in 2021 season, those numbers dramatically decreased to 43% of his shots were in the paint, 32% were in the mid-range, and 25% were from 3. Those are very good shooting splits, in my opinion. And it also happened once again this past season, where he had 44% of his shots in the paint, 32% from the mid-range, and 24% from 3. So virtually very similar numbers for 2 seasons in a row. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's more of a trend than what you were seeing in 2019-2020 season, you know? Now, his numbers dipped a bit this year, but it was still very effective and efficient, in my opinion. 16.2 points on 53% from the field on 12 shots a game, which was way down, I feel. I think he had like 15 shots the previous season. 36% from 3 on 3 attempts. 79% from the free throw line on 3 attempts. Now, that's a very low number, but I feel like in Coach Billups' scheme, he would be able to get more attempts. You know what I'm saying? I would also feel like he would be able to utilize his skill set more to raise up those 1.8 assists that he had this past season. He's also a guy that doesn't turn the ball over a lot. He only averaged 1 turnover per game this past season, and he also averaged 1 block. So he doesn't block a lot, but he can get him. You know what I'm saying? And he's a very good interior defender. You know what I'm saying? Something that the Blazers haven't really had much of lately, these last few seasons. So that's a welcomed addition, in my opinion. You know? So he played 54 games this past season, which is solid, you know, but, you know, there was a lot of players that had a lot of injuries this past season, you know, just having so many games back to back to back. Of course, injuries are going to be a thing, you know, so them being able to have a little bit more rest this offseason, I feel like it's going to rejuvenate a lot of players, and we're going to see a lot of teams. And I feel like the Blazers are going to be one of those teams that make a nice leap, you know what I'm saying? Especially if they can do the things with these rumors, you know what I mean? Like, there's quite a few rumors surrounding the Blazers. So I have very good feelings about it, man. Like, some of it could be smoke, sure. It could very well be. But just having that rumor of John Collins and possibly the 16th pick for the 7th pick, I'm with that, man. Then also possibly add Detroit into the mix, you know? Flip that 16th pick for Jeremy Grant. I feel like that would be an excellent offseason, man. If that's a potential way, I'm sure there's gonna have to be more filler and all that, like maybe a Justice Winslow, or maybe a Keon Johnson, or maybe an Eric Bledsoe type player, but not any of our core players that we have now will be like missing. You know what I'm saying? We'll still be able to keep Nas. We'll still be able to keep Hart, you know? two players that I feel like really can help this team next season, you know? And the running narrative that Jeremy Grant can't play the three, I think we need to stop that, man. Because this past season, the Cleveland Cavaliers allowed Lauri Markkanen to play the three. And their defense was not bad, man. So, it was... Do you guys out there in Blazers land feel like Lauri Markkanen is a better on-ball defender than either John Collins or Jeremy Grant? Because I sure as hell don't, you know? So, I think people like to over-exaggerate some things. Now, they might not be the absolute best of the best on-ball defenders, but what teams out there have, like, their 3 and their 4 are the best at their positions, man? Come on now. Like, we gotta look at things. I feel like Coach Billups and his scheme with his team will be able to get these guys in the correct positions to play hellified defense for this team. I feel like they could, with those two, I feel like the defense would improve dramatically. I don't see how it wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? We need talent, man, in the worst possible way. Now, will it fit? Possibly. It might not. But that's the risk I'm willing to take to be able to give Dame the best opportunity possible for him to get a ring, you know? We have to make changes, man. So you might not like some of the guys. Oh, well. We need talent. John Collins and Jeremy Grant are two highly coveted, talented players on both ends of the floor. You know what I'm saying? It's just true, man. We need both of them type of players, man, in my opinion. We need all the talent that we could possibly get, no matter if it fits or not. That's how I feel, man. I want Dame to win a championship. And if John Collins and Jeremy Grant are a feasible way, and you don't have to give up the bank, like some of the foolishness I was hearing about all these future firsts and all that stuff, why would we have to do all that if it just takes the 7th pick, possibly, and then the 16th pick, possibly, and we get two guys right there that are high caliber players for the team, you know? I feel like there would be enough shots for all of these dudes to be happy. I feel like they would mesh in. I feel like they would play well in their roles together. You know what I'm saying? I feel like all of them will be hungry to prove the doubters wrong, especially Jeremy Grant. You know what I'm saying? There's so many Jeremy Grant haters and doubters out there in Blazers land. I really want Jeremy Grant to come over here and shut all of you dudes down, man. That's what I want. I feel like Jeremy Grant would be a huge addition, especially in the playoffs, man. Grant plays very good in the playoffs, man. And then having a guy like Dame, and then Ant, and then Nurk, and then Josh Hart and Nas, you know what I'm saying? That's a nasty, like, 7-player team right there, you know? All of them dudes will be beast mode in their roles, and that's not even mentioning all the other ways that we can build onto that with in free agency and whatnot. I feel like we can shake off one of these decent mid-tier free agents. If we can get those two guys, I feel like we could get one of these mid-tier free agents to come over for the low and play with us. You know? I just do. But I don't have too much else on this one. This is your boy Pete Money. Tell me what you guys think.